Hello, today we're doing surface area again, but this time we're going to focus on spheres. Now the goal for today is quite simple. If you imagine this tennis ball on the left is a sphere, we're going to try and find the surface area of that. And if you look on the right, we've got half a sphere. We've got a watermelon that's been cut in half. So we're going to try and find the surface area of that as well. So if you're keen to work out how to find the surface area of a sphere or a half sphere, stick around and watch the video. To find the surface area of a sphere, we use the formula 4 times pi times radius squared. Now, you can look this up for yourself. There's way smarter teachers out there who can explain this to you much better than I could. But just for now, we're just going to use this formula 4 times pi times r squared. So it's just 4 circles that makes up the surface area of a sphere. For example, a tennis ball has a radius of 3.3 centimeters. What is the surface area of the tennis ball to 2 decimal places? Now we're making an assumption here that this tennis ball is a perfect sphere. I know it's got some ridges and stuff like that. We're just going to pretend it's a perfect sphere for this example. So 4 times pi times radius squared. So that means we'll go 4 times pi times 3.3 squared. And using our calculator, we'll get 136.85 centimeters squared to 2 decimal places. So when you're doing a whole sphere, it's a really nice and simple formula to use. Now, if we have a portion of a sphere, we will need to adjust our formula. For example, an orange has a radius of 4 centimeters. If the orange was cut into quarters, what is the surface area of 1/4 of the orange to 2 decimal places? Now, just quickly before we start, we're just assuming the orange is a perfect sphere for this example. Now, if we've got an orange in the background, it's pretty straightforward. We just use the normal formula. If you had half an orange, well, you would have half the surface area on the outside, but just have a look here. When you cut an orange in half, a circle appears here. So there's also another area you've got to consider if you cut an orange in half. So if we cut an orange into quarters, let's pretend this is a quarter, you'd have 1/4 of the surface area on the outside, but you'd have half a circle here and half a circle here. So really, what you're doing is you are taking a normal surface area of a sphere. We're going to divide it by 4 just to find the outside, but then we're going to have to add 1 full circle on because this half circle here and the other side here add to 1 full circle. So really, you're finding a full sphere, dividing it by 4, and then adding 1 extra circle on the end. Now, just the way things work out with this formula, the 4s will cancel out. So really, it's pi times r squared plus pi times r squared. So really, you're just adding 2 circles together for this example. 2 times pi times r squared. So 2 times pi times 4 squared is 100.53 centimeters squared. So just use your formula, divide by what you need to, but remember to add on a circle at the end. Okay, here's a question for you to try. So we're just assuming this watermelon is a perfect sphere, okay? So a particular variety of watermelon is shaped like a sphere and has a radius of 15 centimeters. If the watermelon was cut into halves, what is the surface area of 1/2 of the watermelon to 2 decimal places? Give it a go and we'll be back shortly. Okay, so when we look at our formula, we're going to be cutting it in half this time, okay? So 4 times pi times r squared, we're going to half it, but then we'll have to add on that circular face that appears when we cut it in half. Now 4 divided by 2 cancels out to 2, so 2 times pi times r squared plus another pi times r squared is really 3 times pi times r squared. Now you don't have to do that step, you can just type it on your calculator, you'll get the right answer, but I just like to keep things nice and tidy. So it's really 3 circles we're finding. So 2 circles for the bottom and 1 circle for the flat section at top. So 3 times pi times 15 squared is 2120.58 centimeters squared to 2 decimal places. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you got those examples right. So just remember, a sphere is 4 times pi times radius squared. It's a really nice, simple formula. If you have half a sphere, you've got to half that formula, but don't forget to add on the extra face that appears when you cut it in half. Any questions, ask me down below. Apart from that, have an awesome day.